Good morning. I'm Maurice and I've been thinking again. I've been thinking about the difference between earthly wisdom and spiritual wisdom. Is there a difference? Well, of course there is. They're diametrically opposed because God's wisdom is foolishness to the world and the world's wisdom is foolishness to God. In fact, God has made the wisdom of this world foolish. God's done it on purpose. Let me read some scriptures. This is what Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 20. Where's the wise? Where's the scribe? Where's the disputer of this world? Hath not God made foolish the wisdom of this world? So God has made this world's wisdom to be foolishness. The world think it's wise, but God's made it foolish. And verse 25 says, because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men. For you see, you call him brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. And this is an amazing verse. But God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. Let me say that again. God has chosen the foolish things, the stupid things, the weak things of the world to confound the wise. And God has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the mighty. And base things of the world and things which are despised. The very things that the world despise, God's chosen. Yes, and things that are not, things that don't exist, to bring to nothing the things that are. Very profound verse. It's God's choice to use foolish things of the world to show how wise he is. And so men can't get the recognition for it. Paul gives us the key. The next verse says that no flesh should glory in his presence. No flesh should glory in God's presence. It's all foolishness to God. That's why the wisdom of this world is foolishness to God. Well, Solomon was a wise man, but I believe he only had earthly wisdom. His proverbs are earthly wisdom. They're wise sayings. Even eminent people in the world say that Solomon's proverbs are wise sayings. Take the dispute that Solomon sold the two women over the baby that both claimed were their own. Solomon sold the servant, cut the baby in two and give half each, and then they'll be satisfied. Well, the real mother has to keep the baby alive and give it to the other woman. This is worldly wisdom. It was a test to see. Solomon didn't know which of the women was the real mother. God didn't reveal it to Solomon. He didn't have the spiritual wisdom, or he'd have known he wouldn't need the test. You know, Jesus spoke in parables, and the parables are God's wisdom. That's why you need spiritual eyes and spiritual ears and a heart to perceive, to understand them. You know, natural wisdom will never understand the parables of Jesus. Jesus told the disciples as much in Matthew 13. There's 8 parables in Matthew 13. And verse 10 says, and the disciples came and said to Jesus, why do you speak to the crowds in parables? And he said unto them, because to you it's given to know the mysteries of the kingdom. I can reveal the wisdom of God to you. But to them it's not given. I can't tell them, I've got to hide it. This is spiritual wisdom that the world are not allowed to know. For whosoever hath to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whomsoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath. Therefore, because of that, I speak to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing hear not, neither do they understand. God will not give spiritual wisdom to carnal, worldly Christians. Well, let me contrast Solomon, earthly wisdom, with Daniel. Daniel had spiritual wisdom. He could understand mysteries and parables and visions. You know, Daniel was taken as an exile into Babylon, but he already had this world's wisdom. That's why he was chosen. Let me read it from Daniel 1, verse 4. They were told to pick children in whom was no blemish, but well-favoured and skilful in all wisdom, and cunning in knowledge and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they may teach the learning and tongue of the Chaldeans. That's why Daniel was chosen, because he had earthly wisdom. He was a very clever man, an academic, the creme de la creme of Israel that Nebuchadnezzar took to Babylon. But after Daniel and his 3 friends would not be Babylonianized, would not have the rich food and live the lifestyle of Babylon, they lived a simple life, and they said to the man who was over them, "Prove us 10 days, give us simple food." It was a test for Daniel, but verse 17 says this, after they'd had the 10 days of testing, "As for these 4 children, God gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom." So God gave them wisdom, that's spiritual wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. Verse 20, "And in all matters of wisdom and understanding that the king required of them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers that were in his reign." Astrologers had spiritual wisdom. It didn't come from God. Of course, it came from Satan. But Daniel had 10 times more wisdom than Satan could give, and we know that he understood many mysteries and revealed Nebuchadnezzar's dream. You know, so many believers interpret visions in the Bible or modern day visions with earthly wisdom, and they miss the truth. It's the same with the parables. Ministers put earthly wisdom to interpret them and miss the truth of the kingdom. Most of the parables are about the kingdom. The kingdom of heaven is like, the kingdom of heaven is like. The talents and the virgins, it's about the kingdom of heaven. Then is the kingdom of heaven like 10 virgins. Then is the kingdom like a man travelling and gave the talents to his servants. They're all about the kingdom, but they completely miss that because they put their own interpretation to it. And the answer is in the Bible. The mysteries are solved by mysteries in the Bible. Well, I'm coming to an end of this short little vlog, but James contrasts the wisdom of this world with the wisdom from God, the spiritual wisdom. James 3, verse 13 to 18. "Who's a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom." You'll see that the character that gives you the spiritual wisdom is the fruit of the Spirit, or the Beatitudes. Meekness. "But if you have envying, bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not." Wrong character, worldly character. Lie not against the truth. "This wisdom that comes from an earthly, carnal character descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. For where envying and strife is, there's confusion and every evil work." But, thank God for the buts, but, to contrast it, the wisdom that's from above, this spiritual wisdom that comes from God, is first pure, blessed are the pure in heart. Peaceable, blessed are the peacemakers. Can you see? It's to do with the character of Christ. If you have Christ's character, that you will have the wisdom that comes from God. Full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality, without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. So James shows that the character of Christ is to know wisdom, and it's the very opposite of the wisdom of this world. Well, I hope this vlog's helped you to see the difference between natural wisdom that we're all born with in measure and the wisdom that comes from God. Don't forget they're opposite. The spiritual wisdom that the world don't know about is foolishness to them, but the world's wisdom is foolishness to God. Time's gone. Have a blessed week. Be wise and keep thinking.